Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. First of all, happy Easter for everyone who is celebrating. Second of all, I have a clean and simple card to share with you where I am participating with in the Hello Bluebird challenge. Since this month they have a monthly challenge and this one is a color one. So there are these pastel colors that they want you to create with. And now, first of all, for me, it was a bit outside of my comfort zone since there is a lot of different bright colors. Normally, I try to feature one or two. Here we have 4 colors that has to be featured, but they are really cute, and so I definitely wanted to try. Another thing that I might need to mention is if you want to participate, the deadline is, well, today here, but I think it's just the 17th. The hour I cannot recall exactly, but depending on your time zone, I don't know how much time you still have. Whatsoever, I wanted to share this card and how I made it. Actually, I just finished. I can tell you this card took me an hour, but I didn't have really a clue what to use or where to place it. So if you have more of a specific idea and you want to make a clean and simple card, it might just be something that you're still able to do with the deadline in mind. So we have pink, yellow, blue and purple as pastel colors that has to be featured. And I searched a bit for several combos that I liked using and that I thought could work together. In the end, I don't have the mint blue color in my coloring with the Copics. I will use that mostly on the background. So therefore I wanted to have the purple, the pink and the yellow here in my images from the Park Place stamp set from Hello Bluebird. So I had this stamp set a while now, since the last release. I don't recall exactly when, but hadn't found the time to craft with it. So for this challenge I thought, why don't you use a stamp set that you haven't featured so far? So here we are. And I'm just limiting myself again, as it's a clean and simple. I'm not going to exaggerate with the amount of images, although with the amount of flowers I think I quite add a lot of details for a clean and simple card. But it all depends on your preference, on your style, whatever you do. Now, in case you want to reuse combinations that you see here and you don't want to later on revisit this video, there is always a blog post that I'm sharing. You can find the link in the description box down below if you need to. And there I have all of the colors listed for each part of these images. So I'm just working my way through these images, coloring from darkest marker towards my lightest and returning back and forth. Now the paper that I'm using is Transotype Perfect Coloring Paper, which is, as I have mentioned quite a lot of time, a great paper to color with alcohol markers. It can handle quite a lot of layers without getting oversaturated, and if you need to, you can always just heat set it, let it dry your paper and continue later on. And then the coloring, as I said, from darkest to lightest, but depending on what you prefer, of course, you can color any way you want to. So I have these small, tiny images. I must admit, I love the simplicity of these critters, of these images. The little squirrel, I think it's a squirrel, for me it is, has this adorable dress on or skirt or anything, and I just really love it. I also adored the purple combination I'm using here. I don't use purples all the time. Maybe that's also why I waited this long to start on the challenge. I don't use it often, but I do love this combination, so I'm hoping to be able to use this quite quickly in another card, but I don't know yet when time will be freed up for that, so we'll see. So here I'm just working my way through my final color that I need to feature here. And as I said, just adding layers, how many I think are needed. And then I'm using the matching dies to cut all of these images out. I'm using some purple tape to keep it in place. And now I have to continue with the background. Now lately I have really been loving these simple stencils to help me just limit the amount of space on my card. That's also a way to stay clean and simple, to just not have to fill a complete panel but just a focal point on the panel. This is the square Extraordinaire for my favorite things, but you can definitely mask it off yourself with some purple tape, painter's tape, anything you have at home. You don't need specifically a stencil. I'm just really lazy, and whenever I can get some help, I will definitely use that. Now for the sentiment, I have this amazingly gorgeous Hello. This one is from the gallery frame number 6 die from Hello Bluebird. I just love the Hello. It's a great one. I love the script. I also love the spacing, so here I kept the negative. I inlaid the letters again, and then I used some purple tape to peel it off exactly the way it was intended by Hello Bluebird. And this way I can just move my purple tape back and forth, add a bit of glue on the back, and then adhere it on top of my panel. Once that one is adhered, I can play with placement of all of the other images, and I realized that depending on where I added the hello, I could have so many other possibilities with these critters and images by just placing the hello somewhere different. So maybe you prefer having the hello on top or more towards the left or anything like that. There are so many ways to play around with all of these images and just have completely different cards, but at the same time quite similar. Or maybe if you like to make several cards at once, but you don't like all of the repetition, you can definitely make a series by just changing up placement here, just playing around with the same images. Now here I'm going to offset the squirrel a little bit more towards the left than just my square. It's something that I really like doing, although I am emphasizing a certain part of my card by using the stencil. Just by adding your critter a bit outside of the stencil, you elongate that scenery that you have going on, and it is still clean and simple. Aside from one flower, I added thin foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesive all over the backs of these images. Now for my final flower, it was going to overlap the squirrel a little bit, so on the bottom half I added another thin foam square on top so that I would have the same height all over. Now I'm going to add my panel on top of my card base, and then once that is adhered, I can sort of figure out more of the details. Now I used some glossy accents to add on the sun, also on the ice cream, the nose I think, and then on the flower. Another thing I wanted to add was the white blizzard NUVO glitter drops just on the butterfly on the wings. It's a really fine detail, but I truly adore it. And then, I don't know, I wasn't convinced about the hello. Maybe it was a bit too soft, I have no clue. But I decided to take my G000 and just go over the hello. I sped this up, but I really took my time because I didn't want to go on top of my panel with this marker. And that is going to be my card featuring these 4 colors from the color challenge by Hello Bluebird. As I said in the beginning, this is my entry for the first Hello Bluebird challenge. I hope that I can inspire you. Again, I'm really late in this challenge, so if you want to participate, the deadline is almost there, so definitely grab your markers, go craft, have fun. And for the rest, I want to thank you all for stopping by and taking the time. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you an incredible day, and I'll be back soon. Bye!